Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something called the responsibility framework. It's a really powerful strategy from Dr. Ari Masudi that's all about transforming your patient relationships and honestly driving some serious, sustainable growth for your practice. So let's just jump right in with the big question, the one that I know keeps a lot of practitioners up at night. How in the world do you grow the lifetime value of your patients without ever making them feel like they're just another sale? It's a tough one. You know, when you look at it, practices tend to operate in one of two ways. You've got the transactional approach, it's all about the quick win, the immediate revenue. But then there's the partnership approach, and this is where the elite practices live. They focus on trust, on lifetime value, and that simple shift, well, it changes absolutely everything. Now, here's where it gets kind of counterintuitive. This is the core paradox of the whole strategy. If you want deeper commitment from your patients, you don't push harder, you don't sell more, you do the exact opposite. You actually give them more control. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with that paradox, then we'll get into the framework itself, look at 3 really practical tools you can use, lay out an action plan, and wrap up with the huge mindset shift that makes it all work. All right, let's get to the heart of it. Dr. Masudi calls this the responsibility framework, and it's all about tapping into the psychology of what creates deep, lasting, empowered trust. And this right here, this is the whole thing in a nutshell. When your patients feel like they're in the driver's seat, that they have the knowledge and the tools to make good decisions, they don't push back. They lean in. They end up trusting your professional judgment on a whole different level. So let's be super clear. This isn't just some fluffy philosophy. The responsibility framework is a concrete strategy. It's a system where you provide these tools for transparency and education, and the result, paradoxically, is a deeper commitment that you can literally see in your bottom line through increased patient lifetime value. Okay, that all sounds great, right? But what does it actually look like? How do you put this idea into practice in your clinic, like tomorrow? Let's break down 3 really practical tools you can start building today. So the whole framework really rests on these 3 pillars, and they're designed to give your patients a sense of control over the 3 things they probably worry about the most: their time, their finances, and just understanding what's going on. The first tool is all about pacing. You create a personalized, optimized treatment calendar for your patient. Now, this isn't about telling them to spend less money. Not at all. It's about showing them the smartest, most effective timeline to get the absolute best results. That immediately signals that their well-being, not just their wallet, is your #1 priority. And that, right there, builds massive trust. Second, you help them plan their finances by reframing their whole aesthetic journey. It's not a series of one-off costs, it's a long-term investment. Imagine handing them something called a 10-year beauty investment calculator. Wow! In an instant, your role shifts. You're no longer just a service provider, you're their trusted strategic advisor. And a simple visual like this? It makes the light bulb go on for the patient immediately. They can see with their own eyes that being proactive, that having a strategic plan, isn't just better for their results, it actually costs less over time than just reacting to problems as they pop up. The value becomes a total no-brainer. And the third tool is all about empowering education. Think about sending out monthly content, maybe a short email or a quick video from you explaining the why behind your recommendations. You know, here's the science behind why we wait 4 weeks, or here's how to optimize your recovery. An educated patient feels in control, and paradoxically, they become your most compliant patients and your biggest advocate. So theory is great, but let's get down to brass tacks. How do you put all this into action? Here is a simple, measurable plan you could start rolling out this quarter. It's a really straightforward 3-step process. First, build those 3 empowerment tools we just talked about. Second, get them into the hands of your patients. And third, and this is the most important part, you have to measure the results. And this is the metric that matters most: patient lifetime value, or LTV. You need to track the LTV of the patients who actually engage with these tools versus those who don't. The data will prove the power of this framework. It's not just a feel-good strategy, it's a legitimate data-driven engine for growth. So as you can see, adopting this framework isn't just about adding a few new tools to your workflow. It's much bigger than that. It's about a fundamental shift in the entire philosophy of your practice. And this right here is the shift. You stop thinking about just the next procedure, and you start thinking about the next decade. You evolve from being a transactional provider into becoming their trusted long-term partner. So we'll end with this one question for you to really think about. Take an honest look at your current processes, your consultations, your follow-ups, everything. Are they designed simply to secure a single transaction? Or are you building a legacy of unbreakable trust that's designed to last a lifetime?